Hi there. Just wanted to share a few ideas on making melodies using only chord tones of the chords that are being played in that particular spot in the tune that you're soloing over or making an actual melody for a song out of. So, I think of them as the same thing. It's just when you're improvising, you're doing it on the spot and there's nothing preconceived. It's just whatever comes out, but you're reinventing new melodies all the time. So if we look at just the chords in the key of C, the C chord, if I play a C major 7 chord, would be C, E, G, and a B. So it's every other note in a C scale. So a C scale is C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. I'll play it here actually where we're going to do the chords. So C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. D, E, F, G, A, B, C. So I can get 2 complete octaves in this position on the guitar. So buried in that will be our chords. Our chords won't use any other notes than those notes in the key of C. So if I make a C chord, it will have a C, and it will have an E, it will have every other note, and it'll have a G, so no A, but it'll have a B in it. If I look at a D minor, it will have a D in it, have no E, but it'll have an F, no G, but an A, and then no B, but a C. So there's my 4 notes for a D minor. So that's D, F, A, C. Now I can do it there. I also, again, have another octave. So D, F, A, C. And then the last chord I'm going to use would be the 5 chord, which of course always wants to go back to 1. So a 5 chord in the key of C would be C, D, E, F, G, starting on the note G. So every other note of that would be G, no A, but a B, no C, but a D, no E, but an F. So again, these are all notes in a C scale, all white keys on the piano. Okay, so if I play them in order, you kind of hear the chord. Sounds like D minor. If I play it up high, same thing. I could add that note to my chord, and I've got just a higher melody note on top. G7th sounds like this. And you can see some of the notes I played were in the chord. The G was there. The B, I'm playing in the chord here, which is just an octave of this note. So if I play them in order, I just get G, B, D, F. If I start again, I'll get a G and a B, and that's all I can reach in this particular area. But below the G, I'll have a D, or I'll have an F, and I'll have a D, and I'll have a B here. So there's all the notes of a G7 in that area. So a C chord, same thing. If I play all the notes in a C chord, I'll have a C here. The B, of course, is right beside it, so that's in the chord. So B, C, E, G, again, every other note, no A, but a B, C, E, G, and a B, and the final C. That's all I can reach there. So, if you improvise just using those notes of the chord, it has to sound like you're inside, so that it sounds like you're right with the chord guy, because you're playing the same thing he is. It's just you're playing a sort of a melodic take on it, where he's just playing some rhythmic figure, so if he's playing something like that, I might just play a melody that feels good with that. So you can hear they go together. So if I just play on the C major chord, I'll give you an idea of that. What you want to do at first is just get comfortable with where those notes are. If you're not that familiar with your fretboard, it will, really make you start to see the notes of your fretboard. And it's not an easy task to understand the whole fretboard, but it's a really good way to spend your time, because it'll ultimately open up the lines that you play. You don't want to be playing by just sort of pictures that you see. Okay, so here's a little bit on the C major. So C, the 3rd E, the 5th G, and the 7th B. Sounds quite nice, right? It sounds, you know, very sort of happy. So you can make a lot of music and be creative knowing that I know where those notes are, so I don't have to think about that. All I have to think of is melodies in my head as I'm playing and try to emulate them on the guitar. And you'd be surprised, especially after playing arpeggios. Arpeggio is just a word for broken chord. So instead of this being together, I'm playing it kind of broken, which is creating a melodic line. You don't want them to bleed together, so you don't want to go and hold them down like a chord. But you want to just play, you know, as if you were singing them. Boom, bum, bum, boom, bum. It's a really good thing to do. Just sing your lines as you play them. And it'll help you associate what you're hearing in your head with your fingers. So I'll just do a quick little demo on a 2-5-1 in C. And again, I'm going to try really hard just to use chord tones and not use other things, because you know you don't want to solo just using this, but this is one way to get you sort of broken out of playing scales and playing some patterns that you perhaps are getting tired of yourself, you know, as you play them. So here's a little bit on a D minor 7. So I'm playing around this chord, G7 here, and C major 7. Now, you could do those chords just about anywhere. So I could play, you know, D minor 7 here, I could play G7 here, and I could play C major here. They're all over the fretboard, so you want to be able to, you know, utilize those notes in different areas, which is no small task, but it's fun to do, and this is a great way to learn your fretboard. So here it is just in this position. So I'll just start by outlining. G7 and C. 2 bars of that. So D, F, A, C, G, B, D, F, C, E, G, B. Put a little bit of a different rhythm spin. If I mess around the order, it's a really good idea to limit yourself to an area. So I'm going to say this string. I can play D for G7. I can play the B and the D. For the C chord, I can play C and B. So I have 3 notes here, but I'm associating them with the chord. Strings. That's even started to be quite a bit more interesting. Okay, so I'll open it up a bit now. So D minor has a C in it and an A. G has a G and an F, C has an E, C, B, so D minor, G7, C. quite hard to stick to it. But this is just scale tones. I'm trying to play a lot of chord tones of the chord at the time. So D minor starting on the A, heading to the G7, heading to C. D minor, I'll start on the F, to the flat 7 C, G7, C chord. D minor, G7, that's a little bit of some ideas on just playing chord tones over any chord that you want in any song. And as long as you map it out in the area that you're actually playing or you would play the chord in, then you can see them. You can see the chords buried in that. When I play a D minor 7, I can see it buried in my arpeggio. There's the root, there's the flat 3, there's the 5, there's the flat 7 in the bar, and there's my root, which I didn't play here. But, you know, it's all there. So those notes that I'm playing, I could add any of them to that chord. So if I add that, I get a different voicing of that chord. I could get another voicing of that chord right here. So they're all over the place too. And of course, they're all over the neck in different positions. But if you treat them that way, then you'll get a good handle on what to do in any position that you're on the guitar. It's not a small task, but it's well worth the effort. So there you go. Have a great day and see you next time.